Live from WTVO 17 and your home team. Eyewitness News at 6 starts now.
The amount of mental and just emotional stress alone for these critically ill patients is a lot.
Since the pandemic began, a Beloit ICU nurse has traveled the country helping people infected with COVID. Nikki Olson shares the struggles of keeping her patients alive. Officers investigate a deadly shooting in Rockford. Police say a second victim suffered serious injuries. And a local church is more than happy to feed people in need on Thanksgiving. Organizers explain the extra lengths they went to make sure everyone left with a full stomach. Good evening and happy Thanksgiving. I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is off tonight. Not long after the pandemic began, a Beloit nurse uprooted her life to treat coronavirus patients in the hardest hit parts of the country. We first spoke with Nikki Olson in April. At the time, she was in New York, but has since made her way to Texas. Alexis Carpello checked back in with Olson today. She shares the overall impact the virus has had on her patients and herself.
There's a lot that goes to this virus. It's not cookie cutter. It's not simple.
Nikki Olson is a wife, mother, and an ICU nurse from Beloit. She's been away from her family for months, working in COVID units across the country.
I've seen so much suffering in various cities across the United States. So in New York, in Connecticut, in Texas. The 8 months I've been gone, I can only think of maybe 5 to 7 people that have left the ICU, but I honestly don't know what their life looks like. I think people think that there's just some magic cure out there or there's some magic drug, and I've been to different hospitals all across the country and the treatment is really the same. There's really no treatment and there's really nothing that I have seen thus far that works. And not that I put all this trust and hope in a vaccine, because I know there's a lot of things that go into getting a vaccine and making a vaccine and perfecting it. It's just, we really have nothing to offer people.
On Thanksgiving, a day many of us spent with our immediate family, Olson had just finished a 12-hour shift when I talked with her. She wants everyone to weigh the risk of gathering for the holidays with spreading the virus.
I just wish everyone would err on the side of caution. I know this has been a long time now. This has been 8 months of life-altering decisions. I also know that there's a lot of really tired nurses and doctors out there and CNAs, and it's a lot of work. It's more, and not that I don't love what I do, but it's a lot of work to keep these people alive.
Coming up tonight at 9 and 10 on Eyewitness News, Olson explains why she's finally taking a break from the ICU. Reporting for your home team, I'm Alexis Carpello.
The Illinois Department of Public Health reports well over 107,000 COVID tests in the last day. Of those, about 12,000 came back positive. Since the health crisis began, total infections in Illinois are close to 700,000. Another 131 people died from the virus in the past 24 hours. The state's 7-day rolling positivity rate is 10.3%. It's no secret the health crisis has created a greater need in every community. A Rockford church keeps its Thanksgiving tradition going to make sure people have a hot meal during the holiday. Organizers tell Ari Bruckman the church was ready to hand out more food than it ever has before.
On a day when many spend time with family, those without one or who are just looking for a friendly face head to the Court Street United Methodist Church annual Thanksgiving dinner. Instead of inviting people inside because of COVID, this was a takeout meal this year. Typically, volunteers feed around 600 people, but since so many have been affected by the pandemic, Sue Cram says they'll help anyone who wants a meal.
This year we're planning on 1,000 meals. We have extra, so we probably will do, maybe 1,100. But we don't want anybody to go away hungry, and we did limit it to 2 meals for everybody. We thought everybody would take 2 meals, but they're not. But that's okay. We can feed more people that way.
This is the 39th year the church has given out food on Thanksgiving. In Rockford, for your home team, I'm Ari Bruckman.
A Thanksgiving Day shooting in Rockford leaves 1 man dead and another seriously hurt. It happened early this morning on Lawndale Avenue. That's near Mercy Health's Rockton campus. According to investigators, a 37-year-old man and a second male victim took themselves to the hospital. The 37-year-old died. The other victim has what police describe as life-threatening injuries. 4 people are hurt after a head-on crash in Winnebago County. This happened around 4:15 on North Main between Latham and Gleesman. That part of North Main is blocked off. The victims were taken to local hospitals. Investigators tell us all have non-life-threatening injuries. Police say a bystander helped some of the victims before first responders got there. One of the cars had heavy front-end damage caused by a fire. Other vehicle is on the guardrail in that video. Drivers should avoid that area. If you're doing holiday shopping from the comfort of your home, the Better Business Bureau reminds you to be aware of some common scams. According to experts, legitimate websites have the HTTPS at the beginning of the web address. The S stands for secure. The BBB says doing your research is important too. Read reviews from other customers about their experiences. Experts urge you to use a credit card for online purchases. That way, if you do get scammed, you can dispute the purchase with your credit card company. With some people avoiding in-person shopping because of COVID, analysts say shipping delays could be common this year. Experts think we could see unprecedented online shopping numbers this Christmas season.
Over 75% of consumers are planning to do some or most of their holiday shopping online, and this is much higher than we've seen in previous years, and for obvious reasons. The best bet you have is if you are shopping online, choose curbside or drive-up pickup. Most major retailers are offering this.
To deal with added demand, analysts say shipping companies are hiring extra seasonal employees. We told you Tuesday, UPS is looking for workers in Rockford. At the time, the company needed to add about 600 employees in time for the holiday rush. If you spent the last couple of weeks wondering if I lost my razor, the answer is no. I explained when I first came back, I'm participating in No Shave November. November's Men's Health Awareness Month. Organizers of the event focus on cancer, but there are other health issues men should be aware of. A study last year by Cleveland Clinic showed 72% of men would rather do household chores than go to the doctor. Only 50% say they visit a doctor for preventative care. One local OSF doctor says heart disease is a major concern.
Those are things nobody wants to talk about because that's real, it's scary. But the things that we need to be doing and focusing on are good diet, good exercise, healthy lifestyle, generally weight loss, and things of that nature to help minimize this cardiovascular risk.
Dr. Simon says, especially when men get to age 50, it's also important to talk about screenings for prostate cancer and colon cancer. An annual holiday event in Rockford, socially distanced well before the pandemic, kicks off tomorrow. Festival of Lights at Sinisippi Park returns for its 31st year. The free drive-thru features dozens of lighted displays. You're not required to wear a mask because you stay in your car. Lights turn on tomorrow at 5 in the afternoon. For more information, use the My State Line app.
Now your first warm weather forecast with meteorologist Kevin Doom.
We started our Thanksgiving with some cloudy skies overhead. Now those clouds did clear up quite a lot this afternoon, allowing for some good sunshine to shine down on our holiday. However, a lot of that cloud cover has returned. Downtown Rockford, for instance, which we're looking at using our Mercy Health SkyTrack, is now seeing some mostly cloudy skies at the moment. Temperatures were nice and pleasant today, just a tad warmer than where we should be for this time of year in the middle to upper 40s. They're now down to the lower 40s across most of the area, even dipping into the upper 30s in some spots. 43 degrees, for instance, the current temperature here in Rockford, 36 in Rochelle, 38 for a current temperature in DeKalb. We also have a little bit of a breeze bringing on a bit of a wind chill in a few spots. For instance, feels as though they're 31 right now down in Rochelle. We also have a cold front situated up to our northwest. That will be moving over the area later on tonight. It's not a very strong cold front, but it is going to cool us off just a tad as we head into tomorrow. You can definitely see some of the cooler air sitting up behind that front up to our northwest. Now the rain stayed away for the holiday today, and as I mentioned, we did see a good bit of sunshine for a good chunk of the afternoon, and the rain stayed away thanks in big part to this very big, very strong system of high pressure that's keeping much of the area quiet for the time being. So it's very typical Thanksgiving for us here in Rockford today. Temperatures are typically in the 40s for Thanksgivings, at least that is how it has been since we've started taking weather records 115 years ago for Thanksgivings. The warmest was 67 degrees set back in 1914. We fell about 20 degrees shy of that, but it's felt a lot better than the coldest on record when the high was only 17 degrees. That was set back in 1930. And we didn't see any rain today. However, that's actually atypical for a Thanksgiving in Rockford because 66 out of 115 Thanksgivings on record, so well over half, had seen rain. Only about 30% have seen snowfall. So the cloud cover will pretty much vary through the night, anywhere between around partly and mostly cloudy, and into tomorrow morning as well. But as decreasing clouds go through the morning and into the afternoon, by the latter part of the afternoon, we should be looking at some mostly clear skies. So we should see a good bit of sunshine for our Friday as well. And skies are going to remain mostly clear through the rest of the night and into Saturday afternoon. So we're looking at lots of sunshine for our Saturday as well, all while seeing no rain in the forecast between now and then. Now tonight, temperatures will drop down to near freezing, as I mentioned, sort of varying cloud cover. Otherwise, very quiet conditions through the night tonight and even into tomorrow. Not much to write home about. Temperatures pretty seasonable, a little bit cooler than where we were today. Highs in the lower to middle 40s. And as I mentioned, that decreasing cloud cover will give way to lots of sunshine by the afternoon. 40s are expected through the rest of the weekend here. No rain in the forecast. In fact, pretty much through the rest of the week, we do have a slight chance for a few flurries on Tuesday. That's about it. And then a system coming through on Monday will drop highs down into the 30s. We'll spend about the first half or so of this upcoming week in the 30s, but we should recover, get back into the 40s by the latter half of the week.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Lever.
Few things say Thanksgiving like the Lions and the Cowboys hosting football games. That long-standing tradition played out again today. We start with the Lions hosting the Texans. J.J. Watt says, if I have to play on a holiday, I might as well make it a good one. He intercepts Matthew Stafford and returns it 19 yards for a touchdown. It's the second pick six of Watt's career. Deshaun Watson also had a big day. He'll throw the deep ball there to Will Fuller in the fourth quarter. That's a 40-yard touchdown. Watson threw 4 touchdown passes, 2 were to Fuller. Fuller had 171 yards and receptions, and the Texans defeated the Lions 41-25, dropping the Lions' record to 4-7. In Dallas, Washington leads the Cowboys 20-16 early in the fourth quarter. Andy Dalton and Alex Smith have each thrown 1 touchdown pass. You can pretty much take it to the bank that the Bears will start Mitch Trubisky Sunday against the Packers. He was a full participant in practice again today, while Nick Foles again sat out with his injured hip.
In regards to where Nick's at, he's still day to day. I think, we've had 2 days in a row now of Mitch getting all the reps. So if it goes that direction, then we're going to be completely prepared for that. Again, he put together another good day. That part I really like. I know he's feeling good.
Well, the Packers are well aware of the Bears' issues on offense, but they're also aware of how good the Bears are on the defensive side of the ball. The Bears rank second in the NFC in points allowed. Matt LaFleur is very impressed.
We anticipate getting their best shot. This is, specifically talking about their defense and getting a long look at their defense. I feel like this is the best defensive unit we've played. So, our guys have got to be ready to play.
For the second straight day, the Fighting Illini basketball team overwhelmed an opponent. This time it was Chicago State. Ayo Dosunmu gets a lay in there. The Illini bolted out to a 14-2 lead. Dosunmu scored 22. Kofi Coburn then powers his way for the Monster Slam. He had another double-double, 14 and 11. Trent Frazier had a strong game. He'll hit the triple. He scored 14 points. Freshman Adam Miller scored 15. The Illini led by 30 at halftime, and they routed Chicago State 97-38. In a much better game, number 6 Kansas took on number 1 Gonzaga in Fort Myers, Florida. Gonzaga's the real deal with 5-star recruit Jalen Suggs here. He scores off the steal. Suggs had 24 points. Gonzaga also has a couple excellent bigs in Corey Kispert and Drew Timm. They combined for 48 points, and Gonzaga debuted with an impressive 102-90 win over the Jayhawks. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Let's have a look at our first one, Interactive Radar, sponsored by Rockford Auto Glass and more. The rain managed to stay away for our Thanksgiving. That's actually not typical here in Rockford. Most of our Thanksgivings on record I've actually seen a little bit of rain, but that rain will stay away through the rest of the night and actually for several days ahead here. Tonight, temperatures dropping down to near freezing. Going to have some varying cloud cover overhead, anywhere from around partly to mostly cloudy skies. Very quiet overnight tonight, and then into tomorrow, just a little bit cooler than where we were today. Temperatures a little bit warmer than where we should be for this time of year. Should be around 40 degrees. We're going to be in the lower to middle 40s. We'll start off the day with some mostly cloudy skies, most likely, but then those clouds will decrease throughout the morning into the afternoon, and that will lead to lots of sunshine by the time we reach the latter half of the afternoon. Not expecting any rain for our Friday. In fact, the rain should stay away through the weekend here. Temperatures should stay in the 40s through the weekend as well. A system coming through Sunday into Monday, however, is going to bring our highs down into the 30s. We're going to see 30s for a few days for this upcoming week. Tuesday is our best chance for rain or snow. We just see a slight chance, though, for a few flurries here and there. That's about it. Otherwise, this upcoming week looks very dry. As I mentioned, temperatures down in the 30s, well below where we should be for this time of year. We should recover, getting back into the 40s by the end of the week and into the weekend when we actually see a pretty decent chance for a little bit of rain.
And we really should be thankful for these temperatures today, right? We all know that they could be a lot colder. We get a reminder of that on Monday and Tuesday, but then we climb right back up.
Absolutely. It was beautiful out.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us. Happy Thanksgiving and stay safe.